Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising but the sunrise glows. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Heat up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile bass or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beeper R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console, radio's awake. Morning on the machine, give and take. Voices and the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by.
Good morning and welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. The Coffee Break Net where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Northern California, and we're here every day of the week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Please welcome your net control host and conversation facilitator for today's Coffee Break Net, Brian, AI6US. Checking in from beautiful Meadow Vista, California. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, and it is the 24th day of March 2026. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net. Let's see, let's go through today's national days, and then we'll get into our check-ins. Today is Diabetes Awareness Day. I know that it's a rising chronic issue for many parts of the world, and it's all just diet-based for the most part. Quite interesting how people deal with that, either with a visit to the pharmacy or a different type of trip to the food store for many. Today is National Agricultural Day. Today we celebrate the people who work hard to feed the world, looking after crops, livestock, and contributing to the agricultural production. Big shout out to the National Ag Day. What a tough time to be in that part of the world. Today is Chocolate-Covered Raisin Day. Hey, it has chocolate on it, so it must be good. National Cocktail Day. What is your favorite cocktail? My drink has always been the Cuba Libre. So I imagined Freedom for Cuba would look a little different than the way it's going right now. And National Cheesecake Steak Day. National Cheese Steak Day. Doesn't that sound good? I know what I'm having for lunch. I think I'm going to skip breakfast and just head out for a cheesesteak for lunch. Maybe you might want to join me. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's get the morning underway. I'm going to go ahead and put a shout out first for check-ins from Northern California. If you're coming in through any of the connected repeaters or through the W6EK Repeater or maybe through a node, anyone in Northern California, please come now. First part of the first round of check-ins. KA6UAI, Sir. KB6 SSN.
November 6 Delta Tango.
Quite the kerfuffle right at the beginning there. November 6 Delta Tango. Good morning, Rick. And KB6 SSN. Good morning, Tom. KA6UAI. Good morning, Ron. And who did I miss at the top there?
N6CKV. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Carl. N6CKV. All right, now let's find out for this first round who is coming in from other parts of the world, coming in through All-Star Echolink.
KC8, Fox Queen Victor, good morning. KC8, FQV Mark.
All right, good morning, Mark. KC8FQV. Let's head on up to the top. KA6UAI. Good morning, Ron. Happy Tuesday. Or should I say, Happy Cheese Steak Day.
Oh, yes, both of those may be good. This morning I'm spending my normal pre-work time and pre-dog pill time, either checking previous orders to see what the tracking looks like, or placing new ones. So so then I'll have to get to work here in a minute and go make enough money to pay for it. But anyway, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to check in, and yeah, it'll be dog pill time here in a few minutes, and once that's done, it'll be down the hall to the office. And already reviewed all the emails and see what I need to do, so maybe it'll be a short day. That's how I always start off with that optimism.
It's a good optimism to start out with, as long as adequate money is coming into the checking account. All right, Ron. Well, good morning to you, and I think you made a quick trip down to HRO yesterday. What did you buy?
Oh, yes. Well, I had given up on that 49-to-1 Balin and trying to make an antenna out of wire with a probably a 70 velocity factor instead of the upper 90s like it should have been for the length that I expected. So that was the problem, I think. But I decided not to continue on that endeavor, because spending money for a chunk of good antenna wire would have cost me more than the alternative, which was to trade that back in 2 days after I got it, and got the good old Chameleon MCOM 2, and had one of those up in the trees in the backyard, and it seems to work well most of the time, as long as there's not a branch laying on the wire up there. But I think it'll work well for the portable setups, and it's bigger than I wanted for the Balin, but that's hard to find a tiny one that will really work well with whatever you're doing. And I know it'll work, so no more worries about that, and I'll hook it up and play radio.
Okay, well, very good on your purchase. If you are looking for a portable antenna wire, I found some great antenna wire that I've built a few antennas with. It's from Amazon, and it's a silicone-coated wire, very inexpensive compared to the options out there, and you can get it in numerous gauges, and it's BN Tech Go, B Bravo November Tango X-Ray Charlie Hotel Golf Oscar, BN Tech Go silicone wire. So if you just look that up, it's much less expensive than some of the other options, very flexible, and like I said, it comes in numerous gauges, all the way from thick to mighty too thin. But anyway, you have a great day, Ron, and good luck with your purchase, and I hope it works well for you in the field. 7-3.
Yeah, I just want to point out that's similar to the wire that I got. I had some 18 gauge, and I didn't check the velocity factor, but after a lot of research, it said it was pretty short, and doing the end-fed like that would be much more limiting for band than the, I guess it's a random wire, 60 foot on the MCOM, so I can tune every single band with that wire using the tuner in the shack, so I don't have any doubts that the MAT 30 or even except for a couple of bands, the 710 will tune the longer bands on it, if I ever had the desire to do that while out working portable. But they're all there, and it's that wire. It seemed really great, and boy, that stuff just wraps up nice and all of that. But I don't think it matched up well with what I was doing. You mentioned a different ratio, and that probably works better with that particular wire. Anyway, let's get back to the net, short in and out, and you're probably getting tired of turning that timer. K6UAI 73, everyone. Have a great rest of the week.
Yeah, if the wire was cut too short without considering the velocity factor, no, that definitely started in the wrong direction. You have a great day there, Ron, and enjoy the Chameleon. Clearance KA6UI. Good morning, Tom, KB6SSN.
Okay. Okay, there's got to be something somewhere there. My push-to-talk was giving me some fits there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's blame it on the velocity factor of your thumb. Good morning. Or not. KB6SSN, you still there, Tom?
Okay, let's try it now. How about now?
Is that figured out at the end of this round here? Good morning, Rick. N6 Delta Tango.
I think I'm back.
All right, maybe Rick isn't. Yeah, go ahead, Tom. KB6SSN. Good morning.
Thank you, Brian. Past 2 mornings, when I first turned this radio on, the push-to-talk has an issue. If I power cycle the radio, it goes away. So I'm a little concerned about that, but I have the replacement for it. So if it has a third problem, I'm going to retire this radio. In any case, let's see here. Yesterday, Larry and I had a really good time. We did a comparison between the Baofeng AN5R and the Yaesu FT5D with using a tiny SA Ultra with the 4-inch screen, and we did a comparison through the amplifier, without the amplifier, the whole 9 yards. The results may surprise you, so you might want to take a look at that video if you're into that sort of thing. And if anybody has the secret phone number to actually get a hold of somebody at AllStar, I'd sure like to know it, because I've called their general numbers, and getting through to them is something of a miracle. KB6SSN.
Yeah, I only needed to contact them one time. I left a message. I didn't go straight through, and they called me back, I think, a day or so later. Don't remember if it was a weekend when I called or whatever, but no, they returned my call, and it was a real person. It was the original owner who had a very good conversation with. So who knows? Businesses change, but they used to be responsive. Okay, a Baofeng AN, I think you said 5R. They've added so many models, and I'm not even sure what that is, versus the Yaesu. And well, nothing surprises me anymore. All right, Tom, good day to you, and hopefully it isn't something serious that you have to have your discussion with AllStar. Hopefully they do you right like they've done for me in the past. 7-3.
Yes, 7-3, and whether it's my fault or their fault, it doesn't make any difference. The darn thing's got to get fixed, right? So 7-3, KB6SSN.
Hey, good morning, Rick. N6 DT. All right. Rick evidently had more important things to do in life than hang around for a coffee break net. Good morning, Carl, N6CKV.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else out there. Well, today I get unplugged, hopefully, and then I'll get back to working on the tractor.
Yeah, your pain stimulation disconnection today. Interesting. In talking with Marv, his is permanent, and I was kind of surprised that yours was a temporary. So that's interesting. I'm sure there's very similar devices.
Oh, yeah, they have permanent nerve stimulation, too, for pain that just doesn't go away. But if you can get it to go away with what I have, they prefer that because you don't have the intrusion into the skin.
Yes, yeah, I would have wanted to avoid that to myself. I had a pacer for many years, and for me it was a little difficult to deal with something right there, right under the skin that was supposedly helping keep my heart regulated. But good morning to you. I'm glad glad to hear that has been going well. And once they remove that, hopefully this has been a way to get that under control for you. Absolutely. Well, anything else on your plans for today?
Just working on the tractor, getting ready to mow. I'll start mowing probably either later today or tomorrow. I got a lot of weeds.
Yeah, I've been attacking one little area at a time, and I'm just prepping it right now for bringing another load of bark before the summer. And so, yeah, just wanted to get everything knocked down and put down some granules, and yeah, didn't expect summer weather to arrive this early.
Oh yeah, looking at some long-range forecasts, we're supposed to get some rain end of the month, but I don't know if that'll hold out.
Well, what's important, the weather looks absolutely fantastic for the Ham Fest. Not sure if you're going to be able to make it, but if you can, we'll look forward to seeing you.
Okay, I doubt it. I think I'm going to be busy. Anyway, this is long enough. I've probably done the 8 hour in a couple times. So I'm going to say 73. Everyone have a good Tuesday. This is N6CKV, and hi to Lynn.
Well, I remember my first Ham Fest, and you were a wonderful tour guide for equipment, what I was looking at, Elmering that. Was going through some photos last night. We're revamping the photo system on the W6EK.org website and helping Smitty out. Ran across the photo of you, George, myself at my first Aries event at the I think I forget which fairgrounds it was there in Auburn. But anyway, just brought back great memories of manning the Aries table at a public event with you and George. Goes back many years. Have a great day, Carl, and good morning to Ruth. N6CKV, AI 6US. KC8FQV. Good morning, Mark.
All right. Good morning, KCFQV. Well, looking at the thing unlocked on the computer, some of the different websites. I was looking for the one so I looking to see if I can find the roster. I found the roster, but that I have to be with Google Docs or whatever, or have a login. I have to see if I have a login. I may have a login for that group. I mean, I know I did at one time, but it's been a while since I've logged in there. Well, we made it up to 32. Started out at 20 this morning at 6:30, 6:45. It was 24 now, it's up to 32. And the sun's out. And I think the pump should be fully charged. Well, I was plugged in and having it, and I went to the other room to use the little room, and so now I'm off it. Yeah, diabetes, yeah, it handled well. I mean, it's great having the sensor. It does a job. So, the CGM, more frequencies used. I think these frequencies are up in the Bluetooth area because it sends it to the phone and it sends it to the pump. So it's no longer down in the medical field area. It used to be in the medical field frequencies down at 900, I think. Because I don't even know I can't recall how it. I think it went just to the pump. But now this is so great. It sends it to the phone, it sends it to the pump, and eventually it gets up to the web, out into the world of the internet. So the doctors can take a look anytime, and they have done that. They've looked and they've told me, "Oh, Mark, go ahead and do this adjustment," and I've done them. So, let's send it back to the net, KCFQV.
Yeah, it's amazing all of the devices that are now connected in and reporting. and being able to be overseen on a just a regular basis rather than having to go in for checkups and manual adjustments. So very good. Yeah, for glucose monitoring, just amazing. The technology changes. No more pricking your finger many times a day. Well, Mark, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for sharing that about the insulin pump, and I have no idea if you need a password or not. Some Google documents are password protected, and others are shared with anybody who has the link. So good luck on that. KC8FQV AI6US Coffee Break 73.
Yep, 7 3s, and yeah, we'll get through it. You know, passwords are
All right, clearing with Mark, KC8FQV. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. We are just days away now from the historic Loomis train station, Loomis Hamfest in Loomis, California. That's going to be happening this Saturday, March 28th, 6 a.m. for sellers, 7 a.m. for buyers, coffee, donuts, and a great social tent area where you can hang out and talk with friends and share all the great deals that you found as you walked around. That's the Loomis Hamfest this weekend, Saturday, March 28th. And there is going to be a monthly breakfast this month, but usually it's going to be a small crowd. Mel's Diner on Highway 49 in Auburn at 7:30 a.m. Usually I understand 3 or 4 people show up for breakfast, maybe before they come down to shop at the Hamfest. Just a reminder, there is no monthly fox hunt. I know we say it's a monthly fox hunt here, but you're going to have to wait till next month because it conflicted with the Hamfest. So, yep, April will be our next fox hunt. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and take another round of quick in and outs as you get your Tuesday underway.
KB6LUV, good morning. Kilo November 6, Whiskey, Quebec, Uniform KN6WQ. Good morning, Brian.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
Alpha Kilo 6, Sierra Queen.
All right, good morning, Jeff, AK6SQ, and good morning to Robert, KO6KMR. Good morning, Dan, KN6WQU, and good morning to Brett, KB6LUV. Did I miss anyone? Good morning, Brett, KB6LUV.
AI6US, KB6LUV, Brett here. Good morning, Brian and Coffee Break Net land. Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. It is a glorious morning in South Natomas. That big orange ball in the sky has made its appearance, and looks like it's going to be a warm, pleasant one. So, yeah, I'll be finishing up. I think today should be maybe the last day of pool prep, so the pool will be open soon. Let me take a quick break. The other thing, yesterday I went and saw Project Hail Mary. Good movie. I will say that as a voracious reader and with a very creative and strong imagination, the book, and this is true with me all the time, reading books always presents a better visual experience than when I actually see the pictures that are being presented to me. Don't get me wrong, great movie, good movie, it stands on its own and does very well against the book. But I would say if you're thinking about reading the book and then thinking about seeing the movie and reading the book, read the book first.
Yeah, that's kind of been my experience with some of the movies, fiction especially. really have much to rely on in my own experiences to equate it to, but yeah, especially when the alien hand appears out of the darkness, it seems to have more impact on a book with me as well. Well, excellent. Okay, your thumbs up, thumbs down, or a rotten tomato number?
Definitely a thumbs up. Don't have a rotten tomato number. I'm also going to say good morning, Mom. Bonnie, Newton, Kansas. Good morning, Mom. She is listening in, so hope you're having a good day. I know she had a doctor's appointment this morning that she went to and found out that it wasn't at where it was, so she got to take the day off from the doctor, so that's great. Sitting here with my wife as well, so we're just waking up into the day. If my grandson Jordan is happening to be listening, to him as well. I love you all. Everybody else out there in Coffee Break Land, love you guys too, ladies as well, all. And I will just say thank you very much for being there, Brian. Appreciate you. KB6LUV, B of Love, 73, clear and listening.
Oh, as you were handing out the love there, I held my two hands in the air and tried formulating a heart like cool people can, and I ended up making a circle. Well, Brett, good morning to you. Good morning to Dee Dee, and good morning to Bonnie back there in Kansas. And you guys, you have a wonderful, and of course your grandson there who is in trade school there. Hopefully that's going along well. Well, good day to you all. And yes, your Bonnie has company. Looks like people are on Broadcastify listening to the net this morning. Have a wonderful day. Get that pool ready. I remember a placard on my dad's outdoor pool bathroom that read, "We don't swim in your toilet, so please don't pee in our pool." Have a great day, Brett. KB6LUV, AI6US. That was a repressed memory.
I've seen that plaque in many places where pools are, so hi. Nice memory. Have a great day, guys. KB6LUV, 73.
I remember my grandmother being so offended. "Bob, why do you have that sign hanging up in your bathroom?" KN6WQU. Good morning, Dan.
Because when little Jimmy has got the ring around him, he's not embarrassed anymore. KN6WQ here. That was a good memory, too. I remember those days. Let's see. They had made this chlorine or whatever that basically if whoever peed in the pool, it'd keep it around the person, like a little circle or something they put in the pool. It was funny. So everybody stopped peeing in the pool then because nobody wanted to be singled out. But yeah, it was good times. I remember somebody did that once. It was pretty funny. I'm not sure what they used, but yeah. Let's see. Man, I had a really rough day yesterday. Really rough day. Sunburn definitely was eating at me. I had to put up a whole bunch of tarps and tents to keep the sun off me. I felt like, that movie with Tom Hanks and Bill Little Robot. I just totally felt like that. I wanted to put myself up in some cold linen or something like that so I could stay, keep the sun off me. But yeah, I was told that we were supposed to have the transmission for this vehicle like right around noon, maybe 1 o'clock. So I was like, okay, well, I can get it demoed and get it ready, and then hopefully by the time we get it out, or maybe if we'll have lunch and come back, it should be done. Nope, it didn't show up. It wasn't even anywhere near California, or not Sacramento, I should say. It was in Marysville. So I had to go send my guy and pay for shipping. I had to pay him to go get it, to bring it back for us to get it installed. We got the transmission around 6 o'clock. We got it installed, and we got it done around 9. And there's still a problem with it. So this morning I had to go see if I could find the input shaft speed sensor, because it might have gotten damaged in transit. God, I hope so, because if not, I got to do it all over again. Over to you.
Oh, I'm glad you get paid the big bucks to deal with stuff like that. No, thank you. Well, sorry to hear of the trials and tribulations, and nothing quite like sweating and rubbing around on a fresh sunburn. But who would have thought, like you said yesterday, in March. Well, Dan, good morning to you. Good morning to your family. Hopefully, well, did it get cool enough last night for you to test the heat on your HVAC?
Yeah, that's negative. By the way, Roy, he is our one of our Hamfest, or he's not Hamfest. He's one of our fellow club members, N6WYZ. Roy, he was the one that came over to save me. I didn't know, put him on a blast like that, but he said, "Yeah, do so, do it." So here I am. So he heard me about my woes on the Coffee Break Net and what was going on, and I think he actually reached out to Aaron, and Aaron gave him my phone number, and then he reached out to me and was like, "Hey man, I'd like to give you a hand, at least see what the hell's going on. I mean, you sound like you're going through a lot of drama." I'm like, "Yeah." So he got a whole bunch of information from me, and then he came over and poked at it a little bit, found some dip switches that may or may not be in their proper position, and he had called the manufacturer yesterday morning and said, "Yeah, that's probably what the problem was, because it was set in a smaller tonnage, so it only set 3 ton instead of 3.5 ton. So I'm putting out a lot more than that. So I think that's what the issue was. So hopefully we're supposed to get some rain again. I think maybe hopefully that'd be really odd, because we're pretty much set up for summer at this point. But if we do, hopefully it'll be cold enough that I can really put down some heat and see if we can get it to screw up. So crossing my fingers that I get to do that test, and hopefully it'll just power right through it like it should.
Well, Dan, we're going to find out whose God is better. Because I'm praying for warm weather, because I want to plant my garden. We'll see how this works out, Dan. Big shout out there to Roy in 6WYZ for helping out there. That is very cool. That's what our hobby and club is all about. Well, Dan, you have a wonderful day ahead. I hope everything works out for that transmission, and it isn't going to have to be pulled and wait some more. But I wish you well on that. KN6WQU, AI6US. You have a great day. 7-3.
7-3, Brian. Thanks for running that, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'm out.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you at Hamfest. Hopefully, I think you're going to be able to make it. That's looking forward to it, my friend. Clearing with Dan, KN6WQ, Robert, KO6KMR. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning, sir, to you back and all the gang here. I'll be heading off to the gym just shortly, but I did want to drink a cup of coffee with you guys and just monitor the conversation. Karen made it back in from Missouri yesterday afternoon, and my wife is complete again, so I'm all happy and ready to start my day. So I will be at the Hamfest early doing the setup. I think I get there at 4:30 in the morning or something like that, kind of like the old workday schedule. So anyway, on that note, I'm just going to turn it back over to you and monitor for a while. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, and just going to monitor. Over.
Well, both Lynn and I are going to be getting down there at 04:30 with our headlights on and high visibility vest and HT on the hip. So look forward to seeing you for the Hamfest for setup. And we need to get there that early to get her done. It's a big setup. Well, have a wonderful day. Welcome back to your wife. Glad she made it through all the TSA kerfuffle and made it back home. So very good. You have a Robert, KO6KMR. Happy Tuesday to you. 7-3. morning to Jeff, AK6, Sierra, Quebec. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. This is AK6SQ calling from the beautiful back porch in Roseville. Not much to talk about today. It's going to be another great-looking day here. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the fish are jumping, the trees are pollinating. Holy moly, we are getting killed out here, aren't we? Let's see. Yesterday I was listening to Around the World in 80 Days at 20 words per minute and probably copying about 25%. Back to you.
That's probably further ahead than me. I'm actually good at copying real text or real sentence structures. You know, like coming up here this summer will be the ARL Summer Field Day, and they send out the bulletin for the stations to copy for extra points. And when they send out sentence structure, my brain wraps around that, and I hear the rhythm of the words, and I can copy it down. But if you start throwing some ham lingo at me and the short, you know, the pro words and a bunch of numbers, oh my gosh, my brain just short circuits and goes into hiding. Well, yes, you have a wonderful day out there on the back porch, and yeah, that pollen is something else. I walked out of the house the other day to climb into my red pickup truck, and all I saw was a yellow one.
Yeah, it do be like that. All the black cars in the world are just so dusty. And, yeah, it's really bad out there. For me, it's the spider webs. I'm 6'2", and pretty much wherever I go, I'm getting hit smack in the face with all the spider webs that people walk under. I think to get out to the back porch, I went out through the front so as not to disturb my wife. And I think I probably walked through about 15 on the way out here, but hey, friends are our friends. They're eating up all those bugs that we don't like. Not much more from me. You all have a wonderful day. I'll be monitoring for a little bit. And wishing you all the best. Have a great day. Thanks for running the net today, Brian. I really appreciate you. And, of course, all the net operators. This is AK6SQ. I'll be clear and monitoring.
You know, I'm not sure if anybody invited you to help out at the Ham Fest, but, you know, you were talking about, you know, being able to walk around and look at all the deals and everything, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Not sure if you are going to be coming down to the Ham Fest to help out at all or just to come browse, but if you are working the Ham Fest, you get to be on the grounds when people are unloading these deals from their trucks and trunks. Just throwing it out there, Jeff.
That is probably the plan. The only thing is, I don't even know really what to look for, but I mean, I know what to look for, but I don't know really how to evaluate it, and that might be a little dangerous for me. Hi. But I've got the order of priorities. First being antennas, second, and being HF radio, third being some odds and ends. So I will definitely highly consider it, and we'll probably end up seeing you all out there early in the morning. Look at AK6SQ. Clear.
From experience, typically you'll find quite a few vertical type antennas out there. Maybe somebody has bundled up a beam for sale for HF. But yeah, typically at these events, I'll say the bulk of the antennas you'll find are multi-band verticals, that type of thing. A lot of VHF, UHF antennas. You know, some people will be out there selling Ballons, Unans, etc. But you know, like wire antennas, usually you just don't see them that often. So it kind of depends what you're looking for and what you find, and then you just never know what somebody has sitting hidden on the back of their table. AK6SQ, AI6US, looking forward to seeing you then at the Hamfest next Saturday. Clearing with Jeff, let's go ahead and put another call out. Today, of course, National Cheesecake Day, National Cocktail Day. Do you have a favorite cocktail that you enjoy sipping or gulping. Today is Chocolate Covered Raisin Day, National Agricultural Day, National Ag Day, celebrating the people who work hard to feed the world and look after crops and livestock, and Diabetes Awareness Day. So there's some national days to think of today. And maybe if you want a cheesesteak sandwich like I do, I'm going to be on the prowl for a good Philly cheesesteak for lunch today. If anybody wants to join me. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's take check-ins. If you are short on time, let me know that you want to be a quick in and out. I will put you at the top of the list. Good morning.
Kilo 0, Sierra Delta.
N9MUF.
Kilo 6 Delta Charlie Lima. Good morning.
KD3 AJN Kilo Delta 3 Alpha Juliet November.
N2 DYI.
Hey, good morning in the morning, Patrick, N2DYI. Good morning to Anna, KD3HAN. Good morning, Dave, K6DCL. And good morning to Daniel, N9MUF. And let's see, Kilo 0, Sierra Delta. I'm going to have to look that one up. I think that's a new call for me. Did I miss anyone? All right, no, that's not a new call for me. I don't know what I was thinking. Good morning, Tim, K0SSD. Welcome back to the Coffee Break Net. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Tim out here in South K0SSD. I'm actually testing out my All-Star node. This is probably the first major contact I've made. I'm just watching the net, monitoring, and seeing how hot my little radio gets. But so far, so good. Anyway, just want to say good morning. I'd like to keep it short. So thanks, guys. Thanks for being there. K0SSD.
Okay. Well, you have quite a squelch tail on the end. So I think that's one thing that you probably need to look at is maybe a hang time is a little long on there. Patrick is in this round here. Patrick, you are the expert on these things. Sounds like we have a new node in activation with Tim in South Dakota. Do you have any recommendation there in 2DYI?
Well, before I make any recommendations, I would like to know a lot more about what he's running, because what distro and what radio and what audio interface all make a lot of a difference, and I don't want to take up the whole net with that.
Yeah, Tim, if you want to just provide that info, we'll just give you a quick, maybe a quick thing to look at there to mitigate that squelch tail. Tim, do you want to share that right now?
Sure, no problem. I picked this one up from AllScan, and it's just a little interface. I think it's a 125 with a little computer and a little Dell, and I'm running it into an FTM 400. It took a while to get this thing configured, and actually this is the first real conversation other than the local guys that we've been working on this project with. So yeah, any input is helpful.
Okay, well, if you're running an FTM 400, your very, very easy solution is going to be use DCS. I don't know if you have CTCSS on, but if you drop your FTM 400 and the node radio that you're talking to the node, I should say the radio you're talking to the node with, just drop those into DCS, those codes up, and that should pretty much immediately get rid of your squelch without having to reconfigure a whole bunch of stuff. Otherwise, it gets
a little complicated, but that's the quick fix there.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, thanks for the info. We'll take a look at that. I'll go with the shortcut. We've been playing with this darn thing for too long to get it to work, and finally got it to come to live yesterday. So anyway, we're still playing with it, but I'll take a look at that, and that's an easy fix. Thank you very much for the information. You guys have a great day. K0SSD.
All right, Patrick. Thank you for coming back on that. And yes, I'll second what Patrick said. DCS, if you can run that on both radios, your FTM 400 and your radio for the node, it is going to be a very nice, awesome experience. So, hey, congratulations on getting that all scan and the Pi, or the I think you said you were running the Dell. So good luck to you on getting that going, and we'll look forward to maybe you checking in again. So kudos to you and the team that got that one up and running. K0SSD, you have a wonderful day. AI 6US73. Hey, let's check in with Daniel in Chicagoland, N9MUF. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian in the net. Not sure if we've got sunshine or clouds here. It's kind of a mix, and it's hard to tell looking out my window.
Yeah, some things in life you just have to out and experience. I will usually step outside to walk over to look at the weather rock before I make any determination. Well, good morning, Daniel. What do you have going on today?
I am not sure yet. It's my Monday, since I, do music most of Saturday and Sunday, and I try and take a day off for myself. So I am still trying to figure some things out. I think my motivation is still in the house, but I'm not. Don't have the energy to go look for it. I'll be doing a couple of things for a job application. They want me to take a couple of those online tests to whittle it down and just get some cleaning and some more CIV programming in. I'm enjoying some of the buttons that are available on FLRig, and it's a lot better than having a table of them to paste into OmniRig.
You certainly have enough projects to fill as many waking hours that you might have there. Well, very good. I'm working on a couple of projects myself. I decided to I'd also bought an AllScan. I got the AllScan 200, and I got to a certain point and I just kind of hit a brick wall trying to interface it with that Dell 3040, and I just set it aside and said, okay, I'm going to come back and visit this later. So I think I'm going to try this AllScan on a Raspberry Pi instead, and hopefully I can get this thing integrated so we can run the net full duplex.
Might not be a bad thing. No, I'm trying to deal with PodaCat, a program I've seen a lot of the Poda hunters talk about, so I grabbed it, but I tend to prefer using CW reverse rather than straight CW, and so given the fact that if I use PodaCat to track down the frequency, it'll flip back to CW, and I just needed to tweak it so I'm not digging through some of the controls to try and switch back. It's laziness on my part. Do a bit of the programming up front so I don't have to search later.
What platforms does PodaCat run on? I've heard it before, and I know it's a phone app, but cross-platform, or tell me a little more.
It is. It's good for Linux and Mac as well as Windows. I've got it running on a Windows box right now, and you just tell it, hey, I'm looking for these modes, these bands, and it brings up everything that's currently active. And so, for me right now, I'll set it for CW in 20 meters, and I can see who's active and who I want to check out rather than scrolling through the bands.
So as someone who, let's see, how do I say this? I know you run low power typically. So is it to your advantage to go hunt other stations and put a call out to them, or do you have, it's one of those things where people go, well, call CQ and you have a higher Q rate. But when you're running QRP, what works best for you?
When I'm on the field as an activator, whether I'm doing CW or the FT modes, I find just post myself and call CQ BOTA. Whether it's in the FT modes or CW, both of those work rather well. If you spot yourself and call CQ BOTA, people will come.
Yeah, I know, quite a following. I also hadn't read the article yet, but I guess there's some new leadership at POTA, and they're going to be adding some additional things to that. So it's going to be interesting to track, what they keep and what they add to the POTA experience. But very cool. Yeah, I have not downloaded POTACat yet. And now is POTACat a open source suggested donation?
I believe it is, given the fact that for Linux, the recommended install method is download source code from GitHub and compile and use, but I'm not sure what the actual open source license is on the software.
Okay, very cool. Complete integration, it looks like, with the POTA website, SOTA website, probably a PSK, as well as other resources, so scrape programs. So very cool. And it's a talk. Oh, and you even wait. Okay, I thought this was just radio control, but it actually then connects to your radio for using your smartphone or smart device as the remote mic and monitoring. Is that what I'm reading?
I haven't played around with the phone app yet. I'm just trying to decide how I want to handle the virtual ports. I'm probably going to need to add yet another virtual COM port to my setup, so it's not a one or the other piece of software that I choose to run. But so far I've enjoyed it. I've gotten a couple of photos off of it as a hunter, and I figure if I'm going to work the one side as an activator, it always helps to have the hunters that are out there as well. So when I'm home, I try and hunt on CW.
Very cool. In addition to the other sources I talked about, they also monitor DX Cluster, Reverse Beacon Network, and W6EK directly. That's very interesting. A lot more info than I remembered when I first heard of POTACat. Very cool.
It's just something I've noticed among the, like I said, I've seen it talked about several times in the POTA forums. So I thought, well, what can I do to help out with the hunting? And it's been interesting. You know, a little configuration, a little tweaking. You've got the choice of either direct control or rig control D. And since I'm not a fan of WFU's subset of what it implements for rig control D, I've just got to tweak direct rig control as best as possible.
Okay, just looking to see. I can't find anything on integration with logging, but no, QSL logging right there, right hidden in plain text. All right, interesting. I'm going to take a look at that. I do some POTA or some portable operation. Mostly it's just when I contest. But what an interesting device. Very cool. So enjoy your hand-to-hand combat with the software.
That's pretty much it. It's one of those things, I think it's like any field. There's always a little bit of a tweak you can do, a little bit of an improvement, a gee, it would be nice if I got this in place. And I've noticed that whether it's music or motorcycles or amateur radio, I've always got either the virtual tools or the real tools out to keep improving things just a little bit more. The POTA bag's been emptied. The radio should be charged in about another hour, so I'll get the POTA bag loaded up. Got a few pounds out of it. And just having a good day and shifting into, as I said, trying to shift into my work day with a little bit of a lap warmer.
Yes. Well, enjoy your you picked up a good lap warmer. Many of the lap warmers out there also then try practicing their martial arts skills on you. So it sounds like you have a pretty docile kitty cat there. Well, you have a wonderful day there, Daniel, and we'll look forward because I believe that Mark is not going to be around today to tell us what the weather's going to be, so we're going to have to look for another meteorological input here in a moment. Maybe Dave watched the weather last night. Daniel, you have a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday.
Should be a very good day, and yes, she is an absolutely wonderful lap warmer. It's more that I grew up with cats. I'm willing to play with them with my hands, and I know the consequences. I've got scratches and bites on both hands and arms, and I honestly wouldn't have it any other way because for her it's not an attack, it's I'm having fun. And, she's still a kitten in our eyes, and kittens need an outlet, a safe outlet with somebody that knows how cats work and how they play. 7-3 to you in the net, Brian, and 9MUF.
Well, if you have figured out how cats are programmed, you'll probably make a pretty good husband as well. Daniel, you have a wonderful day. N9MUF AI6US 7-3.
I will admit I need to reply to that. It's kind of the same thing. You got to know when and how to pet them, and when and how to bring treats, and how to talk to them. And if I'm not on the net tomorrow, you know why. 7-3 and 9MUF.
That's why I didn't just instantly move on to Dave. I did throw it back to you for a rebuttal. Well done there. You have a wonderful day. Clearance on N9MUF. And Dave is just probably laughing because he's learned many times in life that he does not understand how cats are programmed. K6DCL, good morning.
Well, I've had plenty of cats in my lifetime, Brian. I figured them out a long time ago. You leave them alone and they're happy. K6DCL, Jamestown, beautiful Jamestown. Sunny out, and, well, as Mark would say, it's going to be a little bit cooler today. Not much, but a little. And who knows when and if it's going to rain. But if it's going to rain, it's going to rain. No matter what we do, there's if it's going to rain, it's going to rain. But anyway, that's now listening to Daniel. Now I don't know what to talk about. I had something, but it went right away. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. But anyway, we're doing fine over here. Lucy's doing okay. She's got a muscle in her right leg near her hip that's bothering her, and I don't know whether it's a hip issue or a muscle issue or whatever. Hopefully it's a muscle issue and it'll go away. And I'm doing pretty good. I get to go to sleep almost right away at night now. And that didn't used to happen when I had my right hip acting up. It's acting up a little bit, but it's actually doing pretty good. So maybe I don't need an operation. And that would be great. I can muddle along just the way I am. Anyway, everything is fine. I have not done anything with my wire antenna yet. It'll be interesting to see how far I cut that line, but it's built for antennas. It's covered, coated with a special coating, and it's very thin, but it's a sturdy, non-stretchable material. So the antenna I have is good. I just have to get it to the right length. Anyway, and 75 meters, not 80, but 75, the upper band, and 40 meters are my most favorite. Anymore, I don't care about DX too much and all that stuff, although it's fun. I tell you, in my early days in the 90s, when I contacted South Africa, and she and I, the woman and I, Ham in South Africa, had a great conversation, and we were both tickled that she got California and I got South Africa. That was a lot of fun. So G5 RVs can work really well for that time of night and that time of conditions and all that stuff. K6 DCL, back to you, Brian.
Well, you know, the wire that I really like, it's that flex weave, you know, whether it be the bare flex weave or the coated flex weave, just great wire, you know, holds up a long time over time. You know, for the portable antennas, though, I just don't invest in the more expensive wire. I find, you know, something's not going to be constantly being stretched between two trees or something. You know, the less expensive multi-stranded wire, copper, of course, pure copper, off of Amazon works very well. The wire that I want to try, and I don't know if you watch Callum at all at DX Commander, he has this wire that was manufactured for, I think, the British military, and it's a mil-spec with a basically a very flexible, low-temperature coating, as well as it's just built to last and not stretch. So anyway, I'd want to give that a try. It's not the cheapest wire out there, but it's not that expensive either. It's DX Commander, and I think DX Engineering may be selling it now as well. But it's interesting. Never have used it myself, but it looks like it is robust and would last a few winters. But I use tinned steel because my doublet is between 220-foot, 130-foot pine trees, and when those things dance in the winter, unless it's steel line with a big old insulator in the center, it will be down in the first storm.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I've heard about his work on antennas has been amazing. I followed him for years, and I just never had good luck with verticals, but with the way he has done it, it's got to be good. So how I got this wire for the antenna, the guys at Sarah, which is down in Modesto area, they heard me on the Coffee Break Net talking about wish I could find somebody to help me put up an antenna. Well, one of the guys that has since moved to Florida, but he and I communicate once in a while, he and one of the officers from Sarah came up and actually installed this wire antenna, 100 foot, and didn't look for its resonance at all, because it was going into a ICOM 730 auto. Well, now it's not, and so I do need to tune it, and I'm almost there. Another day or two, and I'll be able to do that. I'm going to get one of my friends who's into GMRS but wants to learn all about stuff for ham radio, and I'm going to let him help me with the wire and getting it to the right size, and I hope it's not in this 72 to 77 foot range. That's a lot of wire to cut off. I don't know how I would do that. Anyway, we'll find out, and love to make a really good antenna, and right now it's really good on 20 meters and above, and I would just need to get it on 75 meters, 39, 52 and up, and most important to me, and I feel like I'm at the edge of getting that done. So, yeah, this is made for antennas. It doesn't stretch, but it is flexible enough, because that doesn't even make sense. But it's really been a great antenna, very stable, and good wire. And so anyway, it's good to have friends, and meeting friends on guys I never knew who listened to me here on the Coffee Break Net meant such a tremendous amount to me. Great guys, and they worked on it too. I tell you, one guy was afraid of snakes, so he kept taking a stick with him, and to make sure there was no snakes in the grass. And he never found one, so I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to make sure there's no snakes this time too. K6DCL, Brian, thank you so much for letting me jibber-jab a little bit. I love ham radio, and I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm getting Lucy into it too, vis-a-vis GMRS, but she's also loves listening to the Coffee Break Net in the morning too. K6DCL73.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is love tolerates a lot, doesn't it? I think Lynn is really glad that I'm into amateur radio, and she'll quite often walk over to the shack door and close it gently, and we have an understanding that she sometimes is bothered by all the conversations and the sound. It's okay for the shack door to get closed once in a while. Before I let you go, Dave, one last thing. Are you looking for assistance? Because I do know that people down your way are listening in. Do you need assistance with your wire antenna, it sounds like?
Well, yes, I could. I know which way to go with the wire, but and I'm getting a rig expert 230, and I've done some research, and it sounds like the one for me. And once I get that in, I'll be able to know where the resonance is, and being able to adjust the wire. But I can't do that part. I can't adjust the wire because I can't get out there. Walking is a challenge. I'm still doing exercises and measuring my my muscles and keeping that going. But as far as traipsing through the weeds, ups and down hills and gullies and all that stuff, that's just not my thing anymore. I know what to do, I just can't do it. K6DCL, you're right, Brian. I certainly could use help.
All right. Well, if anybody is monitoring the net who is closer to Jamestown, let's reach out and let's find a way to assist Dave with his HF wire antenna. And if it comes down to it, Dave, it's a heck of a drive, but it might be worth spending some time hanging out with you for an afternoon or something to work on that. So, let's see what we can find out. If there's anybody, is a closer proximity to Jamestown that could go there and help. If not, let's talk more and we'll figure out if we send a team down from my area here up here in Sacramento. You have a wonderful day, Dave. Always a pleasure to hear you on and talk radio and life with you. And Lynn forgot to buy the biscottis. That's how my life is going right now. I'm biscotti-less. Dave, you have a wonderful day. Good morning to Lucy. Thanks for checking in this morning. K6DCL AI6US.
My good friend, take it easy. Have a great day. I had such fun talking with Gerry last week, and Theta, as always. They kind of playing with the Ravens, and I think he's getting the raw deal this time through his manager, but I don't even know if he's on the practice squad anymore, so I haven't heard from his mom. My daughter, she's doesn't want to talk to me or something. Anyways, AI6US K6DCL 73.
All right. Well, yeah, that definitely keeps us updated on Tank, and he certainly had a great college career. And I know sometimes players, we've seen it repeatedly, get brought onto a team and then sit out on the bench for a year or two until that opening happens, or they are used as trade fodder. But definitely keep us up to date on Tank. We appreciate that. Well, good morning to you there, Dave. Good morning, and we will follow up more with you and see if we can find somebody down in the Jamestown, Modesto area that might be able to make their way up there to give you a hand. Otherwise, we will form a rescue party from Sacramento. K6DCL AI6US 73. Good morning, Anna. KD3AJN. How are you this beautiful Tuesday morning?
Good morning, Brian, and everyone else on the net this morning. Well, I'm good. It's a little chilly here today. It started out in the 20s, and it's warming up a little bit, but it still was cold out this morning. I had to go out to a doctor's appointment and back home now. You made me really, really hungry for chocolate-covered raisins. They're one of my favorite things I like. And I wouldn't mind going and getting some.
Well, Lynn just shopped by what she saw on the shelf. She didn't really read the label, and she was at Costco, and she thought she got a couple-pound thing of chocolate-covered raisins. Ended up that she got chocolate-covered almonds instead. They were good, but it was kind of funny. She opened them up and popped one in her mouth, and she said, I think for a moment she was thinking the raisin had turned bad. Always read the label. Hey, I was going to ask you, last week you you were going to, I knew you were a little under the weather, but you were going to try and make it to a training session for the electrical plant emergency services training. Were you able to make that, and how did that training go?
Yes, Brian, I did make it to the training. It was for our drill that's coming up for the nuclear power plant. And the training was really good. I learned a lot. It's my first time doing this, and I was very impressed with the people who did the training. And we have our practice drill on May 19th, and then the real drill is June 9th.
You know, I was listening, I think it was Saturday when I'm trying to remember who checked in. I think it was Roy had checked in and indicated he had attended the training as well, and that they were looking forward to the exercise as well. So I did know that the training happened, but I just wasn't sure if you were able to make it. That's awesome. Glad you were feeling well enough to do that, and yeah, definitely keep us in the loop. I think it's a wonderful relationship that the amateur radio plays along with your electrical nuclear plant there. Wonderful. Well, good morning to you. I hope you are all this illness is behind you, and hopefully springtime is going to arrive soon for you.
I'm feeling a lot better. I still have a little bit of a cough, but it comes and goes. I think this weather doesn't help it because it keeps going up and down. One day it's 80 and the next day it's 30. And I think Mother Nature doesn't know what she wants to do this year. But hopefully she'll get her act together and we'll get some spring weather here soon.
I saw a cartoon warning. It said, "Please do not let children eat Rice Krispies." I ate Rice Krispies as a child, and now every time I stand up, I snap, crackle, and pop. So don't let your grandkids eat Rice Krispies.
The grandkids do eat Rice Krispies, and I did as a kid too, so I do the same. I snap, crackle, and pop as I get up and down. But that's part of life.
It is part of life. I had a good chuckle when I read that. Well, Anna, good morning to you. And yeah, that's 20 degrees. Hopefully that weather is behind us. We're hoping for more rain out this way. We're definitely, I don't think, going to get snow anymore, but we definitely a little too early coming into summer. I definitely wouldn't mind taking a little bit more of your cold weather if you want to send it our way, but I know it's hard to get the weather patterns to move west from Pennsylvania. Anna, have a wonderful day. Always a pleasure. KD3AJN, AI6US Coffee Break.
Well, Brian, I will try to send that weather to you. I don't know how fast it will get there, but I'll try because I don't want it. I'm ready for summer or spring. And everyone have a great day. And now you got me thinking about my chocolate raisins. This is KD3AJN.
I wonder how many sales and how many calories and how many pounds this Coffee Break Net has contributed to people's lives. Today, I am definitely going out to find a Philly cheesesteak sandwich to celebrate National Cheesesteak Day. So yes, we do our best to promote what's healthy and good in people's lives. You have a great day. Hey, good morning, Patrick. Yeah, it is still good morning for you. Into DYI.
Hey, unless we go really, really long, it might still be morning by the end of this check-in. Good morning, Brian, into DYI. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, we have very similar weather to what Anna was just talking about. Not quite, well, I guess about the same ratio. Sunday afternoon, it got up to 91 here, and this morning it was 36, I think, when I woke up. So not quite as cold, but definitely warmer. So I guess about the same ratio.
You know, my thumb started turning green, and then the heat hit last week, and now it's starting to get a little cooler here, and I'm just a bit leery about getting that garden in too early because, you know, it could turn cold again. But oh my gosh, the bug to put in a garden is strong, especially this year. You know, I think insecurities in world conditions and that sort of thing. I drove by our local nursery last weekend, and I had never seen the parking lot so full in my life. I think a lot of gardens will be put in this year. It's going to be interesting to see how many make it through the summer.
Yeah, no kidding. So we have my mom has a few things that she plants every year, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think we should probably put this out yet." So she's holding out a little bit because, yeah, the weather here has been just crazy up and down all over the place. Good squelch. And let's see. So I think it's going to get warmer again. It's cooler today, 55 I think today's high, but it's going to get warmer again by the end of the week. We'll be right back into the 80s again by the weekend.
Up and down, up and down. Well, yeah, the great thing is we are living in shelter with air and heat and all these other things, and too many things to keep us occupied. Well, what's going to keep you occupied?
Someone desperately trying to disconnect with a very loud squelch tail is keeping me occupied right now, Brian.
All right, K0SSD, do you want me to go ahead and drop you from this side here? By the way, I know you're new to All-Star nodes. DTMF doesn't work very good in a net, so I don't know if you installed Allmon on your system to disconnect without DTMF. Would you like me to drop you there, Jeff? Jeff, excuse me. Sorry about that. Would you like me to drop you there? That's Tim.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, I still have a lot of work to do. Anyway, thanks a lot. Yeah, go ahead and pull me off.
All right. Yeah, no problem. I'll just drop you from this side here, and you have a wonderful day. Yeah, if you did not install Allmon 3, go ahead and look that up. It's just going to add probably 2 or 3 minutes. You'll have everything configured to be able to control your node via any computer on your network there. So, very good. Tim, have a wonderful day. K0SSD AI6US, and I'm disconnecting you now. 7-3. All right, back to you there, Patrick.
Well, hey, at least now we know the FTM400 is a full duplex node. Yeah, so what's occupying me today? Not a whole lot, in theory anyway. Yesterday I went to try to finish getting that Newsline node up that I've been talking about forever and ever. I ran into some problems, reported them to Bruce. He wrote the code that makes that work that I'm going to be using, and he says a new release is coming. Hasn't come yet, so I'm just waiting for that to show up so I can deploy it, and hopefully it'll work. And then I can get that published and never think about it ever again, except that's not true because I have to update it every week.
Well, add us to your guinea pig list. We'll figure out the best time to air that. But Newsline is something that we would love to add to our repeater. So I like the work that you've told us that you've been doing with it, and being able to sign on and get a properly formatted Newsline, I think would be an awesome thing. So put us on your short list of guinea pigs.
I will definitely do that as soon as it is, well, I can't say as soon as it's available. It's available now, but if you want Amateur Radio Newsline, the Chipmunk edition, dial that node. If you don't, you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah. A little Kodak issue?
Yeah. So what happened was I gave him reference spec files to play with, and I said, could you implement this using this format? And I didn't realize that I accidentally sent him a 2-channel file. He did exactly what I asked him to do. He implemented it so that it decodes stereo. Well, I didn't realize I sent him stereo files, so now I'm using mono, which was the intent the whole time. And guess what happens when you have 1 channel and you feed it into a thing that expects 2? Yeah, it plays twice as fast.
Alvin!
That is literally pretty much exactly it. Yeah, node 506316 if you want to hear what it's not supposed to sound like. There you go.
Okay, yesterday you told us about the issue, but not the full story, so I feel like Paul Harvey now. The Paul Harvey experience, the rest of the story. No, absolutely. If folks not up to speed on what Patrick has been working on, ARL releases Newsline, and it is automatically chopped up, for timeouts and for ID, etc. But it isn't intelligently chopped up, and it chops in the middle of sentences, in the middle of words, and yeah, it isn't intelligently divided. And Patrick is going to be providing a service that is going to be available through, for All-Star platforms and such, for those of us who want to put ARL Newsline on our repeaters, but have the breaks happen between sentences and paragraphs. So thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Amateur Radio Newsline themselves don't really provide a good way to do that. They just expect that everyone's going to play it in one big segment, which works fine on a repeater that's configured for that, but isn't really great for connected All-Star nodes because everybody has a timeout, and you don't know what everybody's timeout is. So you have to kind of assume lowest common denominator and break it up every 3 minutes or less.
Yep, and then you have a chopped up mess. Well, I certainly look forward to you implementing. And yes, we're short on time, but we don't need to double up the speed. My brain doesn't absorb that fast anyway.
Well, I read talking books a lot when I was a kid, for school and for pleasure. And the machine I had was just a modified playback tape machine, basically, that had a speed control on it. Later, there were more advanced ones that had time compression, and by time compression, I mean a very, very rudimentary pitch shifter that you would then combine with speeding up the motor and then lowering the pitch to compensate for it. So the pitch was right, but the time was faster. Well, I didn't have that for a long time, so I got very used to listening to stuff at high speed like that, and I can actually absorb. Doesn't mean I want to, but I can absorb stuff like that if I have to.
Yeah, no, I've heard some of the text-to-speech stuff running in the background of some of the folks checking in, and yeah, it's you got to follow closely. I can just imagine the audiobooks that are actors' voices. That must get pretty comical when sped up.
Yeah, if it's dramatized, if it's performance-based, if there's music in the background, you sure don't want to do that. But I know some people who do, and whatever works for them, I guess. But man, and I'm a guy who has been on the other side of producing some of that stuff, so I know what goes into a lot of that. And yeah, kind of just makes me sad. That's just how it goes.
more energy this morning, I'd quickly record a sound bite and play it back at double time, but here right now, it's in my thoughts. I was going to reply to your current conundrum with a snappy little fun thing, but I just don't have the energy for that this morning.
Fair enough. I don't really have any energy either. So after I did the net last night, I had every intention of going to sleep. I went to bed at about 12 o'clock, and I just lay there for 5 hours, was completely aware of the time passing, and absolutely did not sleep. It wasn't for lack of trying, and I didn't even try to do anything about it. I was just kind of hoping it would happen. It never did. So yeah, I'm probably going to crash sometime in the afternoon again.
You can only count so many sheep. I was going to ask you how you like your mutton prepared.
No kidding. Yeah, it was kind of funny because my sleep tracker on my watch actually gave me a higher sleep score than I usually get when I actually sleep. It wasn't a great sleep score. My sleep is pretty terrible most of the time. But, yeah, I got a higher sleep score by not sleeping. Go figure.
I don't sleep scores. I probably should. It might alert me to some of the things going on in life. But, yeah, I just kind of go by how I feel the next day. But, all right. Hey, before I let you go, 10,000-foot level on the net last night. It seemed to go a little long. Seemed to be a very active net. I dropped in a few times, but I wasn't able to kind of listen the whole time.
Yeah, I don't really put a whole huge amount of stock into the sleep score either, but I just kind of turned it on to try to do with me, and it just doesn't know what to do with me, basically. Yeah, so last night's net was very active, like you said. It went long. We had, I think, 8 new people check in. I'm pretty sure that's a record. 8 folks who had never checked in before. We had a wide range of discussion topics. We talked about VPNs. A couple of people asked about getting 44net set up or tail scale, WireGuard, whatever. We had discussions about the follies of trying to use web transceiver within your network, which is a problem that a lot of people run into, not realizing how NAT traversal works, and hairpin NAT. Let's see, Mesh-tastic was brought up briefly. Didn't have much to say about it, but someone brought it up. We had a discussion about the clear node upgrading to ASL3. Basically, if you have a clear RLS, don't do it. It's not working right now. We had a comment from Tom letting us know that the tariff prices are about to go into effect. Clear node prices are about to go up, so if you're interested in a clear node, get one now. It's probably going to be the best price it'll be for a while. And there were several other things going on. I don't remember everything, but it was a very, very active net. There was not a dead moment in that net last night.
Well, excellent. Yeah, I was only probably able to drop in about 5 or 6 times, and every time it was a new subject that was being discussed. I'm like, wow, this one really has a lot of great information being exchanged there. Interesting. I guess Shark RF had quite a bit of inventory sitting in the U.S., and kudos to them for holding off as long as they could. They probably have a new shipment coming in from their manufacturer, and no way to get around the tariffs at this point. So good for them. This speaks volumes of a company that give you the best price possible as long as possible.
Well, I'm not sure what Shark RF is doing, but I do know that Node Ventures gets pretty much all of their parts from China except for a board that they get from California. And the California-sourced board is one of the more expensive parts. So go figure. Yeah, not really surprising.
I do apologize. I thought for some reason my brain went over to the M1KE as I associate that with the imported device. Okay, clear node. Well, if you look at the prices on memory, one has to wonder how that plays in as well. The price of a of a Raspberry Pi now is the price of a computer. In fact, these devices are more expensive than little mini computers now. Thins.
Yeah, and if you have an older mini, you know, if you want to build a reasonably powerful all-star hub to host a whole bunch of connections, you're probably better off using a few generations old mini PC than a Raspberry Pi, as far as price goes.
Yeah, no, and it's good to see a lot of these projects moving over into other devices as well. And I think that once again, kind of tying into yesterday's discussion about AI tools, you know, I think taking some of these codes and say, how can I make this run on a thin client or something like that? You know, we live in a good time where it's not going to take somebody 6 months to bring something over and work out the details. Claude is working 24/7.
Yeah, I actually used Claude the other day, Claude Code, to convert a project that was written for Windows to run on Mac OS. It was written in WX, so reasonably cross-platform. It was just a matter of getting the controls and the window and all that stuff to line up. And then it has to connect to a Docker container and perform a bunch of stuff in the back end. And then I had to go figure out, because it wanted to use the GPU, so I had to figure out the better optimizations for Mac OS and the hardware that it had based on specs for a bunch of stuff. And yeah, it just kind of wrote a whole bunch of code, and I ran it and it worked. That's kind of cool and kind of scary.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you're a programmer. We teach our mentor. Mentor is always there to teach, and yeah, you just wonder if AI is going to teach the next human who wants to learn how to code. I'm sorry, Patrick, I can't let you do that right now. Unbelievable. You know, going back to Ether SDR, a complete AI-based and validated code for the Flex radios. Mentioned it Saturday, and since Saturday there have been 7 major releases. It's all Claude developed and validated. I mean, it's moving so fast at this point. It's like, my gosh, amazing.
Yeah, similar kind of thing with the Move Everything project, which is now not called that. I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago. There's a third-party shin that goes along with the Ableton Move, and originally was called Move Everything. And it's not all entirely written by Claude. There's a lot of hand validation and hand coding, but a lot of it is done by Claude. And for some reason, he has now renamed the project to Schwung, SCHWUNG, which I guess is kind of zing momentum in German. I have a feeling that what happened was the folks at Ableton saw that basically he was eating their lunch as far as performance and development went, and they probably asked him very, very politely to change the name. They don't seem to mind that he's doing it, but maybe it's a trademark thing.
Amazing times, that is for sure. Huh? Yeah. When you mentioned the renaming, I was thinking how it applied to the swoosh on a Nike shoe. Nice swang there. Well, Patrick, thanks for giving us the overview on the All Nodes Net last evening, and thank you for everything you do for the community. Definitely looking forward to the running amateur radio news line at normal speed, and let me know when that's happening, and we'll probably ask you to incorporate it at a certain time, or get us the we can set up the tool to do that. So thank you so much.
Yep, lots of ways to do that. You can have it on a schedule, or you can have a button that you can press on your web interface that gives you a countdown and eventually plays it. Or there's a lot of different ways. We can talk about that later. I will certainly let you all know when it's available for people to break, and if it breaks, then that's more stuff that I can report back to Bruce. So testing is useful. 7-3 Brian, have a great day. AI6US and 2DYI.
All right, Patrick, you have a wonderful day ahead. And yes, better to break it before a lot of people are using it. Clearing within 2DYI. I'm Brian, AI6US. This is the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater and connected nodes and repeaters around the country. Good morning. Let's go ahead and take a round of quick in and outs as you start your day.
November Bravo 6, Sierra.
6 Sierra Lima.
KO68, good morning.
KA3 VGM.
Whiskey Victor 8, fried tomato.
November 1, Yankee Charlie November, Mike at Oak Grove.
Good morning, Mike, N1YCN, and there was a whiskey something 8. You had a lot of packet loss, and all I got was whiskey !8. Your full call, please.
Whiskey Victor 8, green fried tomatoes.
All right. Yes, the packet losses keeps hitting you there. I got a whiskey !8 golf Foxtrot Tango, and give me that prefix one more time and your name, and we'll be back to you for check-in in a moment.
Victor and here's Russ.
All right, Russ. Yeah, you're really rough getting into the Fireside East Coast hub. So I got Russ, and I think it's a Whiskey Victor 8 Golf Foxtrot Tango, but we'll be back to you in a few minutes there, sir. And yeah, I think you just have a poor connection with the East Coast hub. Good morning, KA3 VGM. Good morning to you. And KO6TH, good morning. KC6SLE, good morning there, Graydon. And MB6S, good morning, Ken. Did I miss anyone in that round?
KO68, did you get me?
Yeah, I gave your call sign back seconds ago, Greg. Did I miss anyone?
Kilo Alpha 1 Juliet X-Ray Yankee, KA1 JXY, Joe in Massachusetts.
Kilo Alpha 1 Juliet X-Ray Yankee. Good morning, Joe. We'll be back to you in a few minutes there. All right, good morning. Up to the top, NB6S. Good morning, Ken. Haven't heard you on the radio much lately. Tells me you've been traveling the world. You missed our 6th anniversary this last Friday of the Coffee Break Net, and I know you probably remember this, but you were the first check-in ever for the Coffee Break Net. So welcome to a belated anniversary check-in.
Thanks, Brian. Gosh, nice to hear that. I do recall that. It was a fun period of time when we got the net going.
sandwich and on my way up the hill to see where the snow line is.
Well, very good. Well, glad to hear you on the radio today. Wharton's Market, right there getting into Forest Hill. And what a beautiful, I bet you're sitting out on those benches looking out over the over the Middle Fork.
Well, actually sitting in my car overlooking the Middle Fork, but yeah, I heard you start to take this round, so I thought I'd park and enjoy the view for a couple minutes.
Well, I know these are quick in and outs, but have you been traveling the world?
Not quite yet. I'm about a month out from the Dumaguete trip, so I'm kind of starting to pull some things together and packing and going through a number of checklists, stuff like that. But anyway, that's about it for now. I was in Cozumel for a couple weeks in January, but nothing more recently than that.
Well, if you would, check back in and let us know how far up the snow line is. Something's telling me, unless something freak happens, the snow is, we're probably not going to get much more accumulation this year. My guess is the shaded area going up to Ford Point. But you'll probably, or you might make it, I don't know, you might make it as far as Canada Hill. Let me know.
Will do. And let's get back with the net. Thanks so much, Brian. Really always enjoy tuning in and listening while I'm driving. Take care. NB6S.
Well, I'm going to ask you your best guess on where the snow line is, and then we'll compare notes afterwards.
You get no argument out of me on that shady spot before Ford's Point. I tend to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, that spot there tends to hang on the snow the longest of anything. Well, you have a wonderful day there, Ken, and be safe up there. MB6S, AI6US. And good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. I checked the blink cameras at the house in Tahoma this morning. There's no snow on the deck. There's no snow in the driveway. There's a little patch under a tree I can see from the back camera. And that's at 6,000 feet at Lake Tahoe. So there's not going to be much snow, would be my guess.
Yeah, especially on the south facing, I imagine it is disappearing quite quick, which should make it quite easy to open up for the running events that are coming up here in the next couple of months. Well, thank you for sharing that. No snow at 6,000 feet. That's not typical for this time of year. I'm glad I didn't sell my snowmobile. You can thank me.
Well, thank you, Brian, for not selling your snowmobile. I remember, I think it was the year again up here. Lisa and I went up in June, and in June you could not get to the house. It was still a mountain of snow covering everything up. So what a difference a few years makes. Real quick, I had an interesting discussion with the manager at Suburban Propane yesterday. I went up and had some bottles filled. And I was just curious, with the Benicia refinery closing down, I know a lot of the propane gets trucked out of Benicia to the Sacramento and Sierra Foothills area. I asked him how that was going to impact us in the future on propane costs. And he said, surprisingly, propane will probably be cheaper because they've now switched to bringing in, they always had the alternative of bringing it in by rail. So they're just going to switch to bringing it in by rail from the east. It actually works out to be about 10 cents a gallon cheaper than trucking it from the Bay Area. And you'll be surprised that it comes from Kentucky. It comes from a refinery in Kentucky. So the train picks it up in Kentucky and brings it out here to their storage facility in Sacramento, and then it gets trucked up here for distribution.
Who would have thought you could bring in propane by rail from Kentucky and it be cheaper than local production. Scratch your head, whatever. Yeah, it's going to be, and propane is one of those things where the more active, our productions are, the more byproduct is available. So how interesting. That's good news for a change. Thank you.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by what he told me because I thought we were probably hit in the future. The other thing he told me, very educated individual, very pleasant to talk to and all that, very knowledgeable. But he told me that Suburban really is the main distributor for propane, whether you get it through them directly or you get it through another provider. Most of the providers in your area and my area actually pick up their propane from their storage facility in Sacramento, so I was not aware of that as well. So, good news. Real quickly, before my hourglass wears out, I'm thinking about investing in a small wood chipper, one that I can manhandle around the property by hand. I don't want one that's towable. I don't want a huge one. Something that'll do 3 to 4 inch limbs. I've got a lot of areas and a lot of time of the year I can't burn. So I was wondering, do you have any experience with wood chippers?
Is that your friend there in the chipper? Outside of movies, yes, I do. But mine has always been a PTO takeoff on the back of the Kubota. And, I always found, and my dad suggested I was going to buy a portable one, something that I could just wheel around and do limbs. And he said, the moment you get one, he said, you're going to have a limb that's a little bit bigger, not big enough for firewood, but you want to get rid of it. So his advice to me was just use the one on the PTO, and they last a lot longer as well because of the mass behind the flywheel and the blades and everything. So, yeah, I just don't know the extent of the chipping that you're going to do each year, but it was just so handy to back up, throw on the 3-pin, and just put that PTO in and just let the tractor idle. I don't know if there's many places of the property that you would be wheeling the chipper to that you're not able to push, put a tractor to.
Oh, I agree completely. I'd love to have a PTO mounted unit. I passed up buying a PTO mounted unit a few years ago and have always regretted it, but a used unit. But I have about 2 acres behind the house that I cannot get the tractor down. I can't get any equipment down. It's too steep. It would be unsafe. And there's no access. So I can manhandle a small chipper. I'm thinking maybe something that'll handle a 3-inch, maybe 4-inch branch. But trying to buckle that stuff up the hill is just a killer. That's where I twisted my ankle yesterday. So I'm just thinking of getting a small unit that I can manhandle down the hill, set up, and do a lot of clearing. So thanks for the advice. I appreciate it. Yeah, a PTO unit is ideal, but there is no way to get the tractor down that hill, and if I did, I'd probably never get it back up. I'll let you go back to the net. Everyone have a great day. KC6 SLE.
I don't know if you've looked into it, but some of the side-by-sides have PTOs on them. Don't even know if you have a side-by-side.
I do not. My neighbor, before he moved to Tennessee, had a side-by-side. I never thought about that. But now you're talking about a major expense. It's not something I'm going to use every day. It's not something I particularly want to store, but that's a thought. What I need is somebody who has a side-by-side with a PTO output, and I can borrow. I don't know anybody like that, unfortunately. Good talking to you, Brian. Everyone have a great day. KC6 SLE.
Well, let's see if Dan is listening. Neighbor Dan. No, in fact, I know that there's even some PTO kits that you can add to UTVs to add PTO to it.
You know, the crazy thing is, once you have some sort of a side-by-side or something else, a work tractor type, man, you find a lot of uses for them you didn't realize. And Graydon, hate to say it, but twisted ankles are because you're getting, you're on. Maybe it's time that you ride around in a nice gator or something.
I think you're trying to be polite. We're not allowed to use the three-letter word that starts with an O. Lisa just absolutely prohibits that. So I use the word mature. Yeah, I am getting more mature all the time. KC6 SLE.
Got to tell you, the quads and the ATVs and the ATCs. Yes, I said that. Got such a workout when we had a Christmas tree farm. They just, you could walk it into the driveway, or you could hop in one of the rigs, and they just saw a lot of use. And if you can, do a tax write-off because it's for property management purposes, it's even better. Anyway, good luck on that, because I know there's some great chippers out there. And I definitely would look for one that has a local dealership for maintenance and parts. I know they're available through mail order at much less price, but man, if you're looking for a part and it's not something common, it certainly can bring your maintenance down to a halt. Hey, maybe your son needs to get a front loader, and get a device for that. KC6SLE AI6US73.
Yeah, I talked to him out at a breakfast today, and he said, it's not something he really is relishing investing in right now. And he did warn me about the maintenance aspect, and I'm well aware of the fact you better get one you can get parts for, otherwise you're going to have a worthless piece of machinery after a few uses. Have a great day, 73 KC6 SLE.
And it's always best to get along with the neighbor who has a chipper, because you could be, is that your friend there in the chipper? KO6TH, good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6TH. Sorry about the confusion there. I had an interrupt and missed my the call back. Cool. The good day today. Not a lot of sun out for some reason. I don't know what's going on out there. Yesterday was a urban archaeology day, looking for long buried sprinkler lines. Found them. Found the issues with them. Rerouted stuff, and everything's working. So I think I am ready for spring. Now that it's already here, we're almost into summer. It feels like. But everything is working, so yay. That sacrifice yesterday was working on my taxes, so that's the job for the day. Numbers. Anyway, back to this morning when you were announcing the days, the national days, I thought you said cheesecake, and definitely I would go with that. KO6TH.
Yeah, that was a Freudian slip. I caught myself and I restated the day. I was definitely going down the cheesesteak day. My mind naturally goes to cheesecake as well. But I'll take cheese steak as well as cheesecake. In fact, that sounds like a well-balanced meal. Well, I will be joining you on hopefully getting my taxes finished up today to get ready to submit to the person who's going to do the final prep. So I empathize with your pain.
The person who's doing the final prep is me, unfortunately, and that's that and some software, which I found out has a vulnerability in it. Thank you, HR Block. There's if you listen to the latest, today's episode, actually, of Security Now, they install a backdoor on your computer. Yay. That's a nice deal. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do about that. But I mean, the question is, can it be removed without breaking the software? Because I do use it. I'll be using it next year, and don't want to reinstall a back door. So anyway, yeah, shades of Sony from years ago. If you remember the CD, if you put one of their music CDs in your computer, installed a back door into the machine, and that did not go. It did not end well for Sony. So anyway, such is life in this age. KO6TH. Everybody have a good day. Stay safe and stay cool. 73.
Yep, I finish my paperwork and then just blindly upload them to the TurboTax people, and then I have a real person finishing them up for me. I have read where, if you have a company like that actually do the final prep, that the tax, investigations down the line, there are much less issues with the IRS if you are going through one of these services than they are if they're prepared by yourself. So I have not had my taxes reviewed, knock on wood, for probably about 15 or 16 years, and I just have had good luck with them doing my taxes, and it's much cheaper than going with a local person. Sorry, local person. Greg, have a wonderful day. And no, I do not remember the Sony hack that you mentioned, but yeah, we'll gladly install a player for you if you'd like to see additional content, right?
No, this wasn't a player. This was a what was it? It was definitely spyware or something. You put the CD in your computer, and Windows very helpfully, quote unquote, saw this executable on there as a INI file or something, and it ran the software, which installed a basically like a virus kind of, or a one of those kind of things sitting in the background on your machine. And of course, once you know it's there, it could be. I think it was some attempt on kind of a DRM kind of a deal, copy prevention or something. But really intrusive, and given that you know it's there, then it's something you can hack. And the end result was your machine was wide open to exploitation by all kinds of bad things. So yeah, that did not end well. And of course, we did it without your permission. There was no pop-up saying, "Hey, do you want to install something?" It just did it. This was about it's been about 20 years ago or something. But yeah. Anyway. Such as technology, I guess. You got to be aware of these things. And again, this H&R Block one, it's the business software, which you need if you have a trust, which I have because we have one for my wife. So that's why that software is there. And now I have this. It installs a certificate, a trusted certificate in the root store, which is in itself not a huge problem. But then in one of the DLL files that gets installed is the private key. So now you have both keys, and it's a way of, you can spoof a website, and you won't get any pop-up warning you that, hey, there's something going on. That's the issue there. It's not a huge problem. I guess it is a huge problem, but it's not like the software is installed on your machine. It's the certificates are being messed with, and the end result is being vulnerable. KO6TH.
Yeah, how interesting. Yeah, not a good idea to give the username and password on the same device at the same time. Crazy. Well, it just reminds me of some things that I've been reading lately about these smart TVs. We have 3 smart TVs in the house, and they report back to the mothership, and it seems like the data they report back are associated with viewing time and what you were viewing, and a lot of data from these things, and it just we are inviting these devices into our home, and who takes the time to read those pages and pages of, accept, this agreement to utilize the functions of your TV. Crazy times. Greg, have a wonderful day. KO6TH, AI6US, 73.
Yeah, it reminds me of those error pop-ups on Windows saying, your computer's hosed. Okay? There's not a button that says not okay. KO6TH, 73 all. Have a good day.
I am Habib. I am here to solve your Microsoft problem. Please give me access to your computer so I can fix it for you. KA3VGM. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Maybe Jimmy's pushed to talk by. Oh, there he is.
Good morning, Brian. KA3VGM. And I remember the CD that Greg is talking about. I don't remember what CD it was now, but I remember that story when it came out. What it was a kit. It ended up rootkitting your Windows and causing a problem because it gave root access to any Windows machine that this CD was stuck into. I don't remember what CD it was anymore, but I very much remember when Sony did that. So yeah, it was nasty. And my blood work from yesterday came out okay, so that's good. I already heard back from the doctors on it, so that's good. Other than that, it's chilly back here, although the sun is out. It's nice and bright out there. It's just cold and bright. Back to you, Brian. AI6US, KA3VGM.
Yeah, I do not remember that CD, but just remember how many CDs we used to get in the mail from America Online and all these other companies. Pop this in your computer and get free access, and you just wonder what else the potential for those on our computers were. And the same ploy they use today: go to a website and click here for free this, or and interesting times. I used to go to trade shows a lot. In fact, coming up, when the CES, of course, was in January, and the NAB is going to be coming up next month. And everybody was always handing you USB thumb drives with their company name on them, and very tempting. But I never used one of those because you just never know. You trust that they got their thumb drives from a reputable source, but plugging like the old days with a CD drive, plugging one of these USB thumb drives into a computer, you never know what havoc it's going to cause. So, very good. Well, good morning to you there, Jimmy. Anything else for the net this morning?
No, Brian. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to the rest of you. It's been a very interesting net. You made me hungry for Philly cheesesteak. So I asked the person who prepares my supper if we can have Philly cheesesteak. But I'm not sure if we have the fixings or not. But I hope so, because you made me hungry. K3VGM, back to you. And I'll say 73 to you and the rest of the net.
Well, I hope they come up with the fixins for a cheesesteak sandwich for you, because that sounds good. I know we don't have the fixins around the house, so I am going to probably spend as much money on gas for the truck to drive down to get a Philly cheesecake than it would ever cost if we had the fixins at home today. Have a good day, Jimmy. KA3VGM AI6US. And let's see if Russ has a better connection in now to the Fireside East Coast Hub. Good morning, Russ. Whiskey Victor 8, Golf Foxtrot Tango, I believe. Good morning.
And good morning. I just gave Jackson a yummy chew, so she thinks it's a yummy chew. Actually, it's something to help keep ringworm, fleas, ticks, and whatever else it said it's supposed to do, because we're going back to work camp. Let me move inside. Maybe getting closer to the Wi-Fi antenna, StarLink, you'll hear me better. Hope that's better. And anyway, I'm packing up stuff, and I think, now whatever tool I need up there as a carpenter, if I don't take it, that's the one he'll say I need. Or he'll give me a task and I'll say, I need a tool, and I left it 3 hours away. So I'm trying to take everything without loading down my little Ford Ranger, such. And if I take it, I won't need it. Isn't that the case? Last night, Jackson, she was dreaming. You ever see a dog dream? Let me see here if I recorded that last night. Isn't that adorable? Was really into barking at something. She's a Great Pyrenees, and she's almost a year old. And that is really something when she's working, even when she's asleep. I bring her in at night until she gets a little older. And I've just been listening in and getting ready to move the frame and floor of an antique car down to the truck, because when I'm off duty at the Scottyland campground, I want something to work on with. If I get bored, I say, well, I could go work on the car. I'm building it from scratch. A modified replica of a 1901 Ford horseless carriage. Anyway, back to you. This is West Virginia 8, green fried tomatoes.
Too early for us to have any fried green tomatoes here soon, but I sure love those. Well, Great Pyrenees. My brother and sister-in-law raised alpacas for 25 years, and so they've had several Great Pyrenees dogs, and they definitely a wonderful dog. Not the most attached to humans, but they certainly love their job and great personalities. One question for you: you're packing tools for a trip. It sounds like you're. Is this for a camp host position at a campground, or is this for maintenance? Or I'm not sure what the tools are being packed for. And Ford Ranger. So what are you packing the tools for there?
Well, the tools, I'm one of their maintenance people, and my specialty is carpentry. So I'm packing up jigsaws and drills and what else is in here? if I don't take it, I'll have to run over to Harbor Freight and get an extra one. So that's what I'm packing it up for, so I can be ready. Most of the time they have us mowing the lawn. I guess that's part of maintenance. But as long as I'm receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks, then that will be doing okay with me. And let's see, my call sign, so let you know, I never liked my old call sign. I just hated it immensely. But then when my license was coming up for renewal, I said, I'm changing it. I'm not going to put up with it no more. And I was thinking, well, let's see, I can do this like W6EK KFC, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like that. But one of the delicacies that I grew up with when I was living with my mom and dad, I was young, underage and all, was green fried tomatoes. If you said fried green tomatoes, that's the name of a movie, I think. It doesn't matter anyway now. So I stuck with West Virginia, 8 yummy green fried tomatoes. That's how I got that call sign. And I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, living out here on the left coast, I know what they're called. I lived in Florida and have had many times green fried tomatoes there at restaurants on the East Coast. But out this way, they just call them fried green tomatoes. I don't even think they call them tomatoes back where I've had eaten them. Tomatoes. Green fried tomatoes, as I recall. Anyway, hey, Russ, have a wonderful day. Nice pleasure to meet you. I think it's the first time on the net. My name is Brian, if you didn't catch that earlier, Brian with an I. And Coffee Break Net is here 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. So drop on by another time. And good luck getting every tool you'll need for the camp season there. West Virginia 8 got fried tomatoes, AI6US. Hey, back to you for final there, Russ.
West Virginia 8 green fried tomatoes. Nothing further. I'm just getting packed up and be ready to move out, heading up to southwestern Pennsylvania to the Scottyland campground. I used to say Scottyland, and because that's its name, and it's near. It's got a postal address of Rockwood. But everybody on nets would get it wrong or something and say Skyland, Skiland. So I started saying it like my ancestors might have said it, Scottyland. And everybody gets it right ever since. So that's about it. I'm heading out to move that frame on the dolly down to the pickup truck. 73s to everybody.
Well, good luck with that 1901 build, and back with the time when the mechanics were simple, but running them weren't. Have a great day. Good morning, Mike, N1YCN.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Mike, N1YCN from Elk Grove, actually Laguna West. But I've just been sitting here trying to reorganize or organize or clean up, whatever, all those terms apply, trying to get my radio room back in order. my desk looks like, never mind. Doesn't look good. It's looking better though. I can see the bottom now, so I guess that's an improvement. I've been listening to, in the background, listening to you talking to various people, and I got a kick out of it about when you're talking about the man that was asking about the wood chipper and so forth. And I never had a chipper, but I did have log splitters back in the day when I used to buy firewood by the cord and have it dropped off in my place when I lived in Rio Linda. And I'd go out there and do all the splitting. We had a wood stove in addition to the heat in the house and all that. But those days are fortunately long behind me. Right now, not too much. But anyway, talk about he was talking about having move the chipper around the property, and I remember back my father-in-law way back in the day had a Jeep. I believe it was a 53, because I had a 53 flat fender myself, but he had a 53 that was set up with the PTO on it, and he had a pole toe digger on the back of it, and he could get a chipper. He had all kinds of stuff. He lived up in Grass Valley, actually out there by Rough and Ready. But anyway, those were the days, and right now, I don't subscribe to being older either. I say just a little bit more, I guess, something like that. Or I used to say a sexy senior citizen. We'll just drop off the sexy part. But anyway, that's about all I'm doing.
All right, Mike. Yeah. What model truck was that? You said a 1953, but I didn't catch the make on that truck with the PTO. That is. I wish the trucks had PTOs on them. That would make them a ultimate work machine nowadays.
Yeah, copy that. Sorry, I timed out the repeater there. It was a 53 Jeep flat fender, and but it was set up with a PTO when anyway, that was it. But they are very maneuverable on properties, of course, because standard Jeep. Anyway, I'll let you go back, Brian. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Oh, by the way, I was looking for you Saturday. Take care.
All right, Mike. Looking forward to seeing you at the Ham Fest as well this next Saturday. 53 flat fender with the PTO. How cool is that? Back when Jeeps had skinny, tall tires. That was, they could go anywhere. You are right. Have a great day, Mike. N1YCN AI6US Coffee Break. And KA1JXY. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you, Brian and Nanette. How are you this fine morning?
I am doing well. I'm just trying to figure out if this coffee and a banana will get me through till an early lunch with the Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Good morning. What are you up to today?
Oh, not much. Still doing the grind, looking for a new job. Was listening to you guys talk about the Sony rootkit. That was 2005, and Sony, the way that it worked was it basically hit itself and did all kinds of nasty things, and like the gentleman said, it gave them administration access to the machine. And their justification was all so that DRM would work. I'm all for protecting the rights of the musicians, but these record companies, I don't know, they pay little and expect it all.
And I hate to say it, I've never met a DRM that I liked. They always have some negative effect. And for example, right now, the current form of ATSC 3.0 for over-the-air broadcasting completely held up, not because ATSC 3.0 is not ready to broadcast, but
They have thrown a license with a fee on top of it and a requirement for all receiving devices to be type approved in order to receive free over-the-air TV. Don't get me going on that one. But the broadcasters are saying, oh yes, signal theft for streaming is such a problem from over-the-air broadcast that we have to put this on. They have made a solution looking for a problem.
That they have. They've made a solution to make money.
Absolutely. No, I mean, yes, there is signal theft, but most of it coming off of things that are not originating over from your local TV station. You know, this is stripping the content off of other services and illegally distributing it. So it's quite interesting. You know, and I don't know if you've been tracking this DRM fiasco that's happening with over-the-air television, but you know, these licenses are given to these broadcasters with the expectation, you know, in the case of emergency or public interest, that everyone has access. And it's really interesting that they want to put DRM on top of what is publicly licensed for a purpose. And it's an interesting fight that's going on right now. And you're right, it all comes down to the money.
It certainly does. You guys were also talking about ARES. I'm interested in getting involved in it locally here in Massachusetts. During the Christmas season, the club I belong to volunteers for some of the local communities that host Christmas shopping events, and I participated in many of those, and they're always a lot of fun. The last one I was in, we had kind of a melt right before, and one of the buses that I was in actually got stuck in the mud. KA1JXY.
Well, did you use amateur radio to call out for help?
I most certainly did. They were like, where are you? We can't get you. We happen to be in kind of a dead spot as well. But we were able to get through. Amazingly, the two-way radio on the bus worked better than my handheld in the bus.
Well, probably they had, the good outside antenna, and you were sitting in a Faraday cage with a few windows. So, but good to hear that radio played a role in the rescue there. Well, Joe, thanks for dropping by this morning. And Aries, I know Aries and Races both are great organizations that are involved in the community. I think it's up for debate what our role will be in case of an emergency. But emergency preparedness is something that we all should know and be prepared for. But it seems like many of the things for Aries and Races, you really need to be involved at a base level with all of the training, and I think there is quite a commitment to be an asset, to the served agencies. But certainly for getting in there and providing another method of communication and message passing that is outside of the served agency definitely has a place as well, we've found. Joe, you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, I will. That definitely sounds very interesting, and I will take a look into it. You have a wonderful day as well, Brian, and the rest of the net, take care. KA1JXY.
All right, Joe. You have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning. And Ken, I'm going to see if Ken has a copy. I'm certain he does. We have pretty good coverage. Ken, you are past Ford's Point, going up the Forest Hill Divide Road, and have yet to hit snow. NB6S, are you monitoring?
Hi, Brian, Ken, NB6S. Yes, that's correct. I've just pulled over to chat at you for a moment and still haven't hit snow. I'm above Ford's Point, about a half a mile, and it's looking like late April.
Very interesting. I'll be interested to know if that continues on, because if you're clear at Ford Point, you're probably going to be clear all the way up to just the climb up to Canada Hill. It's going to be interesting. Maybe even clear to the crest on the other side of Canada Hill. Too early in the year to be seeing that. Thank you. And you also had a recommendation for Philly cheesesteak at Dominic's in Granite Bay, Auburn, Folsom, and Douglas. So, boy, I'm going to try finding something closer, but it might be worth driving to, it sounds like.
Yeah, next time you're down that way, it definitely is. They have one called the Chicago-style roast beef that's their version of a French dip, but it is really worth the drive, and get a couple extra napkins, because that stuff will be dribbling down your face.
Comment? That sounds pretty good. Kind of interesting. We'll get into a final call for check-ins here in a moment, but yeah, I was down at Auburn, Folsom, and Douglas Boulevard just about a week ago, tracking down a radio that I think it was inadvertent jamming was going on. Tracked them down to one of 6 houses right behind Wells Fargo Bank there at the corner of Auburn, Folsom, and Douglas. So I was pretty close to this place.
Yeah, it's right behind Susie's Cafe. That's more. You can see better from the corner, and there's an Ace Hardware that's in the same shopping center. By the way, I heard somebody call a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
Hello, guys. This is Jeff, AK6SQ. I just wanted to put in also the recommendation for Dominic's down over there in Granite Bay. That is the only place that I will travel to in the valley for a cheesesteak sandwich. That's me personally, but, you know, to each their own. I just wanted to wholeheartedly give the recommendation as well. AK6SQ clear.
Well, not that I doubted Ken's recommendation, but okay, we have people coming out to endorse them. Cool. Thank you for the second recommendation on Dominic's. All right, Ken, well, continue safe travels up the hill. By the way, you are full copy into the repeater, but would we expect anything less?
Thanks. I'll still be listening for a while. Thanks, Brian. NB6S is clear.
All right, 7-3 there, Ken, and safe drive. He is coming to the narrow 1.5 lane with no guardrails on Forest Hill Divide. Hey, good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. We're after 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out there now for the log, and just welcome folks to kind of spread out your check-ins. I will make sure you are in the log before we wrap up the Coffee Break Net on this Tuesday morning. So who's out there for the log?
November 9, Romeo Echo Sierra. K6GBZ for the log.
Kilo Oscar 6, Indy Hotel Juliet, log.
WB7, UKX, log all 8.
Kilo November 6, Hotel Foxtrot for the log.
Kilo Mike 6, Mike for the please.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie, Sierra Yankee. Thanks, Brian.
Kilo November 6, Uniform Sierra Hotel for the log.
Kilo November 6, SSP. Morning, Brian, for the log.
KI6TC log.
Good morning, Brian. W6GLW for the log.
W6EK Tim via Echolink for the log. Oh, good morning, Brian.
KI6LP.
AI6LZ.
KB6ED.
Kilo Delta 6 Hotel Oscar November. Thanks, Brian.
All right, this is who I copied. I might have missed a few there, and I do apologize, but we'll fill in. Good morning, Corey, KD6HON. You have a great day ahead. KB6ED, good morning, Ed. Great to hear you on this morning. You're in the log. AI6LZ, good morning to Bert. Bert, you are in the log. Thanks for checking in. And Russ, KI6LOP, good morning, Russ. You're in the log, my friend. See you at the Ham Fest. Good morning, Tim. W8LDT. Sounds like you're in a busy deli or a restaurant there. Hope you have a great day. W6GLW, that's Gerry. Good morning, Gerry, and got you in the log. Thank you for checking in this morning. KI6TC, good morning, Glenn. Got you in the log. And let's see, KN6SSP. Good morning, Art. Good to hear you on this morning. Got you in the log. Before Art, there was a KN6 station that got stomped on mercilessly. The station that was trying to check in, again with Art there, KN6 station.
Kilo November 6 Hotel Foxtrot, Dave from Colfax. Good morning.
Okay, yeah, I got you, Dave, I got you a little farther up the list there, so I confirm you right now. KN6HF got you in the log there, Dave. There was another KN6 station that tried checking in along with Art there. KN6 station again?
Could be me, KN6USH. Have a great day. Just negotiating the roads.
All right, Mike. You know what I'm going to do? KO6USH got you in the log there, Mike. I'm going to read off who I heard, and then I'll come back and try getting a fill on that one. Poor guy just keeps getting stomped on mercilessly. K4LGI, good morning, Sam in Denver. Have a wonderful day. Got you in the log. Good morning to Rick. WB3CSY, thanks for checking in this morning, sir. KM6MM, good morning, Mike. Mike, you are in the log, and appreciate you stopping by. And then, of course, we have KN6HF, Dave up in Colfax. Dave, you have a wonderful day ahead. And Dick, WB7UKX, got you in the log as well. Thanks for checking in. And let's see, just be a moment. Just trying to make sense of my notes here. Larry, KO6IHJ, good morning, Larry. And let's see, got Bill in 9RES. Good to hear you, Bill. I think it's been a little while since we chatted. Got you in the log. And then, let's see, I have K6, I believe it is. I believe that's K6GBZ. Did I get that prefix right? Well, if that is K6GBZ, that would be Tom. Good morning, Tom. Okay, I am looking for a KN6 station that did not hear their call.
Good morning, Brian. This is KN6YCJ in Orangevale. My name's Dave.
All right, Dave. That's the station I was looking for. KN6YCJ down in Orangevale. Thanks for checking in, Dave, and you have a wonderful day. Got you in the log, 7-3. All right, this is going to be last call for the log. Anybody else want to get into the log for the Coffee Break Net this morning?
Kilo November 6, November Uniform Foxtrot.
DFP, Cannon Twin Falls, steamed eggs.
Alpha Kilo 6,
Kilo
Papa Echo.
6, Bravo,
Jose from
Sierra
California.
Yankee. Jeff in Fair Oaks, case BSY.
Good morning, Jeff. K6BSY. You probably heard Ken is driving up the divide and no snow, and he is past Ford's Point. I heard an AK6 station in there. Did not get the full call.
Good morning. This is Alpha Kilo 6, Papa Echo. Jose from Tustin, California.
All right, good morning, Jose. AK6 Papa Echo, got you in the log. And good morning, Mr. Steamed Eggs. Good morning, Ken, up in Twin Falls, Idaho, KB7DFB. Good morning to Joshua, KN6NUF. Great to have you guys checking in this morning. Anybody else for the log Coffee Break Net on the W6EK repeater and connector repeaters and nodes?
N5 TIN.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. W6EKW for the log only, please.
KO6 COW log only. Come on, Brian.
All right. Good morning, John. KO6COW got you in the log. And good morning to KO6COW, John. And then I have KO6CKW, Ramon. And good morning, Steve, N5TIN. Good morning to you. Hey, I just want to give a big shout out. I'm looking forward to seeing so many of everybody out there at the Loomis Hamfest this next Saturday. So just mark your calendars. It's almost time to set your timer on your watch. The historic Loomis train station this Saturday, March 28th, 7 a.m. for buyers, 6 a.m. for sellers, and 4:30 a.m. for the setup team. Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the Hamfest. And we just added another prize. Boy, the prizes are awesome, but just added a gift certificate from ABR Industries for coax. Thank you, ABR. And boy, there are some big, big prizes. Over $2,600 worth of prizes at this point. So it's going to be great. Donuts and coffee, the whole bit. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close down the Coffee Break Net for this Tuesday morning. The Coffee Break Net, of course, is where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club, and we are here every day of the week, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and that's 1430 to 1700 UTC. I'm going to be back again tomorrow for another round as your net control host and conversation facilitator. We've had a fun conversation this morning. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the conversation and making this a fun net to be on and to host, frankly. Good morning to everyone. I'm Brian, AI6US, returning the W6EK repeater and connected repeaters and nodes back to normal operation, whatever that may be. Happy Tuesday, everybody. 7-3.
Into